Today's main question is on children and reenacting. Thanks for joining us today on Questions and Answers with James Townsend and Son. Our first question is on our potash cakes episode, and this is Noor Aldeen P. Great video, thanks for making this. Is sour milk the same thing as buttermilk? And if not, can buttermilk be used? Also, I noticed that you mentioned butter as a substitute for pork lard. Can rendered duck fat, that's been cooled, also be used as a suitable substitute? So buttermilk in the 18th century is not the same as buttermilk is today. But buttermilk today does have acidity in it, so it will work. We need that acidity either in the sour milk or in the buttermilk to react with the pearl ash to create the carbon dioxide bubbles, which is the leavening agent in this particular recipe. If you use modern buttermilk, it is much thicker than the sour milk or buttermilk would have been in there. So you might need to add water to bring it to the right consistency. Also, he's got the question here about the rendered duck fat. I have not tried rendered duck fat in this, and undoubtedly, it would probably be a very interesting addition. So if you give it a try, make sure to tell us about it in the comment section. This is James Booth, and he's got a question on a portable soup episode. He says, I know this is an old video, but do you know if you could do the drying process over a smoky fire like jerky? The drying process, the very last stages of doing the portable soup, you don't have any heat. And the heat of your smoky fire would melt it. It would keep it from actually releasing its moisture. Just plain smoke, like a cold smoking situation, might work, but I would think your flavors would still be too intense. So I probably still would not recommend that. I would just put the portable soup in front of a fan and let it dry out. On our latest painting episode, Duncan McTavish writes, I noticed to the cook's right an alcove recessed above the table with a bottle in it. Is this common? You quite commonly see alcoves in walls in many different paintings. I don't know how common the alcoves were in the actual buildings, but in the paintings you see them quite often. And there's a bottle in the alcove, and we really weren't quite sure. It almost seemed to me that it was a little bit of artistic license there, that the bottle fit perfectly in that niche. I'm not sure exactly what would go in that niche at different times, but it definitely was an interesting little eye-catching piece of the painting that I don't have the perfect answer for. On our original Earthen Oven episode, which still gets a lot of views, Ancient Survival writes, can something like limewash be applied to the outside of the oven to make it more resistant to the weather? Limewash probably isn't quite enough. Many people use a lime plaster on the outside of their oven to protect it from the weather, and that apparently works quite well, as opposed to something like a cement covering, which will actually not work as well and possibly damage the oven underneath. So look for a lime plaster. You'll probably have to make it yourself. In one of our latest Q&As, Rock Troll 2002 writes, we're looking at getting into reenactments, but my 9-year-old wears glasses. How accurate would it be if he wore glasses? Was that something that would have been seen only in the richer parts of society? In looking things up, I haven't come across too many things citing children with glasses. Thanks for all you and your crew do to show us history. It's a really good question. Although it's a pinpoint question, and there's really a much bigger question underneath that. Specifically, glasses on children in the 18th century, you're very rarely going to see glasses on children. And I'm not sure if I've ever seen any painting evidence of glasses on children. Mainly because I don't think children needed glasses very much. And even if they did, it's not likely that people would have noticed that. Even in the general public, glasses were not common. People did not wear glasses like we do today to correct your vision all the time. The vast majority of glasses worn in the 18th century were just reading spectacles, and people would put them on just for reading. So we use glasses in a completely different way than they used glasses then. So is it proper to have your child wearing glasses in a reenactment? Well, we have to remember that in this case, history has to serve us. You know, we can't be perfect with history. We really have to. We want kids to be involved. We want kids to learn. So most places, they want to encourage children to participate so much that they wouldn't even mind if the children were wearing modern eyeglasses. And that goes for clothing and shoes and other things too. Children are hard to outfit for reenactments because they go through their clothes so quickly, and it's very difficult to find a child's footwear that's period correct. So all these things are usually things you can fudge a little bit on, and most places really don't have a problem with it because they really want to be family friendly. This is a really good question to have with a specific historic site if you're working with them or going to a very particular reenactment, to make sure that what you're doing with your children, their eyewear, their clothing is appropriate. Really, most of them are going to really want to work with you. We've gotten a tremendous quantity of great feedback from the videos we've done lately. I want to thank everyone out there for your very kind comments, your sharing the videos, and your thumbs ups on those. It's so encouraging to us, and all the great questions that come in. Thank you so much for all your interaction with us, and thanks for watching. If you're a new viewer and you haven't subscribed, press the subscribe button up here. That'll take you to a spot where you can subscribe. That really is the best way to get notification of all the new videos that are out. I want to thank everyone for watching.